language.
So but on the other side, as you got to Rizvi, so whilst we were having a conversation, you told, as you said now, thank God I got in at Rizvi. If you see that the other catering people, when they came to competition at your place, lost all of the times.
I have a lot of friends from the other catering now, so you are getting me in trouble. Actually, I came in here. I had a different expectation from the UK market. I was thinking that they'll be much advanced because it's a first world country.
We'll get there.
Yeah, you have a different expectations when you're back in India.
The expectations and perception just scattered once we landed over here like anything.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you another joke of fish and chips. Okay, I have a friend of Thailand, all right. So she told me that she had fish and chips back in Thailand. Cool. And she was like, okay, it is good. So I was like, okay, this will be much better when I go to England. She goes to England, has fish and chips, and she's like, what nonsense is this? Hello everybody, this is Siddhiraj, and in today's menu, we have Chinmay Rege, the director of HCS Global Corp. It's a hospitality consultancy agency, which he'll be explaining in some time. And I welcome you. I thank you for coming in, giving your time, and you'll be for all the knowledge we'll be sharing. And we have already had 2 guests before on a podcast, which have been a part of hospitality consultancy, but of the Indian scenario. Right. Okay, so as we are in UK right now, as we also will be diving into the food scene around the world, we'll be also wanting to know how does the hospitality scene industry work over here in UK. So we would want to know that from you, from your businesses, from your experience and knowledge. So let's start and dive into the conversation.
Sure.
Yeah, and I would like to start with your introduction. Tell us about a little bit about your background and self and the initial businesses you had. And let's dive into the conversation.
Right. Thank you for giving me opportunity first. Let me start with a childhood. I've been in the sports all of my life. Never liked studies that much.
Okay.
So always was on the grounds, playing some game or the other. In school times, played cricket, volleyball, kabaddi. Everywhere represented school in all possible games across.
Mumbai Vile Parle.
Yes, I was in Parle Tilak Vidyalaya. It was predominantly a Maharashtrian Marathi medium school.
Okay.
Yeah, so been in school, Parle Tilak school. After that, my mom was in catering and travel business, from where I actually wanted to learn a catering part of it. And from there I started learning about what should I do. Then I came to know about hotel management. I inquired for it. So there is a entrance exam for that. So I appeared in that entrance exam. I got in Mumbai IHM.
I want to know that. I want audience to know that IHM Dadar catering thing.
Right. So IHM Dadar catering was even today it was one of the leading school. So everybody wants to jump in for that, and that has an entrance exam. Now every college has now. The college which I went to is now one of the top schools in hotel management.
Rizvi, right?
Rizvi College of Hotel Management, which is in Bandra. But I appeared for that entrance exam, but I didn't get selected in the first round.
Okay.
First round, I got admission in Bangalore and Goa as an option.
Okay.
So I wasn't ready for Bangalore and Goa. I wanted IHM Mumbai. That was my preference, and I wanted to stick to that. But my parents convinced me that rather than just taking a drop just because you didn't get in IHM, let's go and try for other colleges around. And then when we come across Rizvi, I found it good. It was at par to the expectations from set up from resources point of view. So we took admission there, and then today I took admission in Rizvi College of Hotel Management, and I got a confirmation that in the second round I got it.
In the
But
other
of
catering.
course, we already took admission, so there was no point
Going back.
rethinking again. So we continued, and thank God I continued there because it was a successful 3 years. Learned a lot, slogged a lot. It was like,
of course, Indian hospitality slogging is there.
yeah. So I don't know about study culture here because I have never seen it closely. But Indian hospitality studies are like very difficult.
Okay.
It looks glamorous from outside,
Yeah.
but you give almost like 16 hours a day, committed 3 years, no holidays. You're working throughout. Even in your holidays, you're doing some sort of jobs here and there and learning in some hotel or restaurant. I used to do a part-time from my first year itself. I got a campus interview as a part-time job, and I was in Olives, Bandra, which was like 10 minutes away from my college. So we used to finish college at 6. 6:30 I used to report at Olives. Till 12:30 I used to be in Olives. So that time there was a thing like if I stay after 1, I used to get a home drop. They had a system.
Okay.
They had a
At
service.
least you had that.
No, for that you have to stay till 1.
Oh, okay.
So unless until you stay till 1, you have to go and catch a train, or you have to see your own travel or transportation. So just to get that service, we used to stay till 1.
Okay.
So by the time we reach home, it was 1:30. 6:30 we have to leave again for next day college.
So but on the other side, as you got to Rizvi, so whilst we were having a conversation, you told, as you said now, thank God I got in at Rizvi. If you see that the other catering people, when they came to competition at your place, lost all of the times.
I have a lot of friends from the other catering now, so you are getting me in trouble. Yeah, but we used to be we used to be rivals at that point. Maybe there is that rivalry might be there today also in the college. Because they always got that because they were the old institution. They had that Ivy school wala feel when it comes to hotel management in Indian scenario. So they always got that importance in hiring, in every competition and everything. But in our thing right now, I don't know what exactly is the scenario, but in our thing, we actually beat them in every possible competitions across. So that was actually fueling up that rivalry in a sense.
Then it became El Clasico of that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now after that, of course, because you are competing with the best in the market, and you have to match those expectations. You have to do a lot of homework. You have to study a lot of things. You have to practice a lot of things, because hotel management, how much ever you study, it is more of a practical representation of what you have studied. So how
plus
much you know doesn't matter.
Plus you're in people's business, and people are complex creatures.
Absolutely. Because understanding a person's psyche and providing, whether it is food or beverage or service, which is intangible, absolute intangible thing. And today my business consulting also is completely intangible. So
okay,
that selling that intangible thing and making person like you is a very complex thing. So
so you said your mother had a catering business as
correct.
well.
So my
this
mother
is how you entered into the thing.
So that made me think that no, I want to study something and start my own business. My idea was to start a business. I was never inclined towards doing a job or getting into that traditional path which everywhere. I've been rebellious throughout my life, so there wouldn't have been any difference in the career path as well. So I started
the last venture, right?
Always a last venture.
Okay.
Always a last venture.
Marathi medium and a last venture is the ultimate combination.
So
Coming
Still
back
it,
to the
yeah.
catering business.
So catering business, I started because of catering. I started looking for an opportunity in hotel management. Uh, got into it, spent 3 years there, learned a lot of things, did a lot of things, and after that, I had almost 5 offers from different hotels and JW Marriott, La Meridian, ITC. I had a lot of opportunities as joining as a management training program as well as a so there are two ways you can enter in, either into a managerial program or into a entry level program. So I have got opportunities in both, but I decided that no, I want to start a business. And in our second year we have a course which tells you no second year third year first semester, sorry, third year first semester we have a course in which we have to present a business idea. Okay, it's a entrepreneurship kind of a course. That's one of the subject where we have to submit a report after that. So we learned how to write a business plan and all. So I had a lot of ideas. Okay, I was young. I had a lot of ideas in my 20s. So I had 5 ideas. I thought it was very stupid of me, very naive of me, but I thought that I'll sell 4 of them. I'll go to the market, I'll sell 4 of them, I'll raise a fund. Never had a capital to start my own business. Raise a fund for that and start my own, which will be a next MACD. So that was the dream. That was the whole idea.
Okay.
And for that, I actually reach out to people. I spent 6 months doing all that, not looking for a job. Had opportunity, jobs, everything was lined up, but spent my time doing that. Then I realized no, there is something which is missing in this whole. But doing that, I came in contact with a lot of who's who of hospitality industry.
Who's
Who of hospitality means the known
who's who? Okay,
yeah,
the known personalities.
known people, like the bosses. And from them, they of course rejected me from those conceptual ideas which I was trying to sell. They rejected me on those because those were stupid, those were naive. Not from the concept point of view, they were not naive. They were, some of them were little ahead of the market as well. But somebody doing that on a fresher like me was very unlikely.
Yeah.
And that time the startup scenario was not like
how it is today. Yeah.
So then I started doing something which my mom used to do, catering and travels business. I continued doing that because there was a health issue in my family. My grandfather and grandmother, they were ill for almost like four years. So my mom discontinued her catering and travel business because of their health. So I restarted it again after my graduation, and I approached a lot of companies to run their canteens. So I had at that time almost like a staff of 60 people, and we were
60 people.
60 people,
Okay.
my employees. And
so that's
we
fourth year of graduation. You're a fresher and you had 60 people.
In a 6 months time.
Okay.
So 6 months I wasted in selling those concepts. After that, I started looking for an opportunity. In 6 months, I have a good team of people, and I was catering around 3,000 people a day. So that
after 6 months.
After 6 months.
Okay.
So that was my kitchen setup. I hired a kitchen. It wasn't built by me, but I hired an existing kitchen, started producing there, supplying it to corporates. So there were 2 IT companies, and there was one Tata AIG. So I had almost 6 Tata AIG canteens at that point of time. And
this was in the year?
This was in year 2005.
Okay.
So I
quite good, I
passed
would
2004.
say. Yeah.
And this 1 year I did all this. And then I got an opportunity for my first consulting. So that's how that journey was.
So once you got into, like, you were serving 3,000 people, or let's say X amount of people, how was that, and where did it take you eventually?
So I wanted to do something, but I didn't want it to be a biggest caterer in the market, because catering business is very low margin, very competitive, and there are a lot of malpractices which I wasn't willing to get myself into. So I wanted to do a clean, good business, and catering was not that. Yes, it was giving me a bread and butter at that point of time, but I wasn't willing to grow it bigger. I never thought of being a Sodexo or Ramakrishna or of that times. So I wanted to do a small business. So I handed over that to one of my uh, partner who actually was working with me, and then I asked him to take over that when I actually got consulting opportunities, and my focus changed from catering to consulting. But it was still running till 2014 15. It was on, and till some part of it it's still going on. I have a share in there, but I don't actually or practically
You're
do
the sleeping
anything.
partner kind of a
Right
thing.
now I'm a sleeping partner completely.
Okay.
So I did all the processes required, whatever I have learned, small things about uh, from hotel management. I have implemented those to get it on autopilot, and it's still running on.
Yeah. So as you said, you slowly started getting consultancy opportunities. I feel that is how you started getting into consultancy.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to share that?
So consulting business, initially nobody was paying me anything. I used to get like 500 rupees, 200 rupees, get my menu done, get my design done, some sort of small assignments I used to get. Working on those, I got uh, in contact with a lot of industry experts, and they started outsourcing their job to me. And then I realized that, okay, this is one segment which is not very much professionally managed. People are doing jobs, but there is no proper firm, or there were 3 4, but they were doing only good branded hotels and branded A grade restaurants. There was no one to help a mid segment market,
Okay.
and there was no one to cater to those people who are actually required. They don't have a knowledge, they don't have expertise, but they are willing to do something. So they used to start. I could see them struggling. I could see them, there is no finish in the project, or there's no proper processes followed. So seeing that gap, I've realized that, okay, I can be a guy who can give that sort of a service. And then I started envisioning about consulting, then different angles of consulting, what all.
Okay, so basically, like, just an example, just an analogy. So how Boat got into getting to know that there is a middle segment who is willing to pay 300, 400 for their products. So similarly, you got the middle segment who is willing to pay you X amount of rupees for like helping, like small cafes or let's say those kind of a things.
Right. I started from there.
Okay.
We never used to work on 5-star hotels, because 5-star hotels and all, they have their own team members in house to do all those stuff, which we provide a service for. So there was no point getting into that market. That business is going to come to me once in a while if they are overloaded with their resource. So there's no point getting into that segment. So I thought the middle segment, which is not yet catered systematically, professionally. So that segment I tapped.
Okay.
And I penetrated into that market.
Okay. So more about from there until growing your business in as HCSI.
Right. So first catering business was happening. Then I moved into small assignments of one or two here and there, and growing on consulting. I thought of making it a formal consulting firm, and I appointed few people at that time and formed HCSI. So HCSI, initially the idea was, there was one, I will not name them because they are my competitors now. But there was one international firm who used to come and do some big events in Indian market. Okay, of course they have their subsidiaries, and their companies have some presence in India now, very well established firm. But I attended some of their seminars, and I've seen that they are selling some detailed reports and detailed information about Mumbai and Indian market.
Okay.
And none of the other agencies or consultings
Hmm.
who were there in the business
Hmm.
were having that sort of insight.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That made me think that okay, somebody who's having their head office in New York and New Jersey, they are coming in Indian market and getting this sort of information.
Hmm.
That means we are lacking somewhere.
Okay.
We are having a gap there.
Hmm.
So I thought of, can I be a person who will fill up that gap? So there was an opportunity which I saw, and I built over that.
Okay. So that is what HCSI
Yes,
have. Okay.
HCSI.
So any projects you wanna tell which HC? Okay, first thing, what was the first product which after you formed first project which you got when you entered the consultancy part unknowingly, that one project, and when you formally formed HCSI,
Right.
HCSI. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that first project, tell me that.
Okay. So first assignment, as far as I remember, it was a menu planning assignment for one of the Kati roll concept. So people were trying that time. Frankie was becoming famous in Mumbai market. I'm talking about 2005-6. So Frankie was getting a good hold in the market, and people wanted to copy that concept. So somebody approached me to design a menu for that. So that was my first assignment.
And how did you get that? From your references?
From the references.
Okay.
Actually, the people whom I was meeting and telling them, okay, buy my concepts. One of that contact, they gave me, they need a help. Just see what you can do for that. I didn't know how much to charge. I didn't know anything about consulting because I have never thought of it as a business. I never thought of it that this can be a business. Then later on, as I was growing, as I told you, that going to that seminar and learning. So that was just event was just to get a knowledge. That seminar attendance was just to get a knowledge, but I got my company there.
Okay.
So that was the whole
Okay.
journey. And when I was working under the HCSI brand, I got my first project, which was a restaurant in Goa.
Okay. How did you get that?
Again, through network.
Okay.
So
what was that project?
I never actually, till now, I haven't done a marketing because it's more of word of mouth and more of a networking. So I make sure that I attend every seminar, every expo and every exhibition possible in the industry. We keep our presence everywhere, wherever required, because it's completely B2B business. And we do a lot of articles and we do a lot of other stuff, but which is completely towards the industry specific scene. We don't actually go and market. Till now, I think we might have to.
Yeah.
As the world is changing.
Yeah.
And social media is taking over.
Yeah.
So we might have to.
Yeah. So the first Goa project which you had, what was it about? What was your role over there?
So actually, that was a tweak. So it was a restaurant project. One of the consulting firm who actually has their business into consulting. Okay, they were bosses at that time.
Okay.
They offered a project to me because they used to work in particular segment and for a particular ticket size.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so they said, this is a small project. We are not interested in it. Go and have a look. If they like you, if it turns out to be good, go and do it.
Okay.
Started as a restaurant.
What, that project?
That project. Okay. Project.
Yeah.
Started as a restaurant.
Okay.
That investor was a builder. And he thought of doing a resort.
Cool.
So that restaurant turns into a resort. The restaurant concept was such a novelty that it was the first Ayurvedic restaurant in Goa.
Oh. Okay.
So when I was saying Ayurvedic restaurant,
Mhm.
when I'm saying that the person who's a hostess,
Mhm.
she is gonna come and check your pulse. She'll give you, as per your modulation, she'll give you a set menu.
Oh.
It is a detox program for foreigners,
Okay. Cool.
right? So you'll come there to
Uh-huh.
detox.
Mhm.
You'll have a set menu.
Okay.
So when I was actually explaining that idea to them,
Mhm.
they thought of, why can't we do a resort with this idea?
Cool.
So the
Okay.
idea was of
Mhm.
a restaurant,
Mhm.
and we made a resort out of it.
Okay.
And he had a big land of 25 acres. In
Mhm.
that, we built a small bubble.
25 acres.
Yeah,
Great.
big land.
Yeah.
Wagator, it was just on the bank of Wagator beach, and we made 50 cottages resort. So when you are near seashore, you're 200 meters, as I said, you have to keep that vacant. So with the norms and regulations.
What's the name? What's the
Swastik.
Swastik right now? It's working. If any,
It is not under the name of Swastik right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's Parichay now.
Okay.
He sold that property to a different owner, but yeah, still working.
Okay, so
They have stopped that restaurant. It's not working because they couldn't get the sales out of that restaurant.
Okay.
It was getting difficult for them. But actually, there was a little bit of hiccups in that project because when this project was about to launch, there was 2008 crisis.
Oh, all right.
Our entire business was towards foreigners.
Yeah.
And at that point of time, there were around 600 charter flights coming. So if you know about Goa market was initially, not today. Today it is domestic plus foreigners. But that time there were no domestic customers at all. All were foreigners. So at that time there were 600 charter flights used to come every season. So it was a seasonal business. Russia, UK, and US. These were the two primary markets for Goa business. And because of that 2008 crisis, this launch got delayed till 2009 because they couldn't launch.
Okay.
There was no business.
Okay.
So who's gonna, even if they start, who's gonna come?
Yeah.
And the ticket size at that time, it was $3,000 a night. So,
very much good.
Yeah, very expensive, very exclusive.
Yeah.
So they realized that, and then in 2009 they came up with same concept, same thing. They reduced things in here and there, and they made a package of $3,000 a package, 5 days.
Oh, cool.
4 night 5 days ka package, something like that. But it was exclusive, high end product.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So after doing that, it went into my head that I realized that, okay, now I'm going to do only hotel projects.
Yeah.
Now I'm not going to look down and do small projects and that was again a mistake. I learned from that.
I was gonna ask you the same thing. Why did you decide that? Or why do a lot of people decide to do that? Yeah.
Okay, it's a stupid thing to do that.
Yeah.
But to realize that, because once you get into that market, you want to grow above. And you think that, oh, that smaller business is not going to be giving me that financial support. My company is not going to grow that big. But these are the projects which are, some of them are going to stall, some of them are not going to succeed. So there might be some turbulence happening in these projects, but small projects and continuation will give you some sort of stability. And that realization came little later. So after completing this project in 2009, I was almost like, because I had money coming in because of that project, but after completion, there was no business. So I went about 3 to 4 months. I was thinking about
what to do.
Yeah. Because there's no new project coming up.
Okay.
That sooner. So then I got a good opportunity for one of the brand who was from Kuwait, and they wanted to start something in Indian market.
Okay, just a moment. So now you initially you started doing projects here and there, and you did big projects as well. That is how you expanded, and you had projects across India, or let's say Maharashtra.
Across India.
Okay.
So I had done few projects in Bangalore at that time.
Mhm.
I've done in Hyderabad. So
Mhm.
yeah, across India.
Okay.
I was doing a project across.
Okay. So after that first project, you started getting into more and more projects around India.
Yes.
Okay. So that is how you established, like, let's say, expanded across India.
Expanded across.
And that builds that network and references. You got a reference from Kuwait who wanted to start an Indian restaurant.
No, till that time I didn't have my website or any.
Which is this time? 2000 what? You don't have a website.
It was 2008.
Okay, cool.
So I did my first website in 2008.
Mhm.
I had that time there was something called as Orkut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Orkut.
Yeah, that era I'm talking about.
Okay. Not having website for such a business like you is, I mean, at this time I find it astonishing. Today, if you don't have a website, it's a big deal.
Yeah. And even that time, we had a web presence otherwise, but not technically a full-fledged website.
Yeah.
So there was a single pager as a web presence, but not a interactive website or a proper digital presence there. So
yeah.
So I did that in 2008. I marketed a bit on Google and all, and I got one inquiry from Kuwait.
Yeah.
And till that time, I've decided that I'll do my first foreign tour will be only after I actually go and do it on a client's expenses. So that was my decision to say. So yeah, after that was a product called Fatira, and we did that. That project was on for almost like 3-4 months. We opened 3-4 branches of that, still running. There's only one left
in
now.
Kuwait.
No.
Sorry.
In Mumbai.
Okay, cool.
In Mumbai. So the client was from Kuwait, and he
Who
wanted to
enter the Indian hospitality industry.
Yes, one of the directors was from India.
Okay.
He was from Mumbai, and he knew that there is a potential in Mumbai. There's a growth potential is good, so he wanted to. He has an investor and a partner who was from Kuwait. So I went to Kuwait. I get my training in one of the stores they have, and then we open up a different concept. So it was more of Kuwaiti food or Arabic food, but in an Indianized way.
Okay, of course, yeah.
So I had worked in olives, so I had some sort of a Moroccan theme experience. So it was more of Arabic side, Arabic cuisine.
Okay, so that was the Kuwait's expansion. That is how you went to Kuwait in case of your business.
Yes.
Okay, and then you expanded out. Let's say are operating in Kuwait as well now.
Correct.
Okay, and you have a partner there now.
Yes.
Okay, so after that, how did you expand to UK right now?
So I got one opportunity. One of my client in India, he wanted to open an outlet in UK. He got an investor who was taking a franchise of his brand. If you must be knowing, there's a brand in Aswad, brand name Aswad in Mumbai.
Okay, do you know? Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's in Dadar. So they have a typical Maharashtrian food, and they wanted to have their expansion plans were to get into UK market. Because they had an investor who were willing to take a franchise. So
in UK.
So
they took your help.
Yes. Yeah. To design the module, to design everything, and they wanted me to come and execute the project
in UK
and run it for it. So that investor dropped his idea to do a Aswad, but he decided to do something else. And he's the one who referred me to another person who wanted to do an Indian restaurant
in UK. Okay.
So it was in Cardiff.
Okay. So now as you come in UK, you have both the experiences of, until that you had both the experience, the Indian hospitality industry and the UK hospitality industry. As you entered over here, or you got into here, you landed here, let's say, how was the industry? What were its challenges? How was it different?
From
I know that first thing when I entered or looked over here, these people have that food allergies thing like anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
now even that is getting in Indian market as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very surprising, but yes.
What allergies are Indians having now?
Peanut allergies, I don't know, but yeah.
Okay.
No, but
Yeah.
here that is there because of a lot of legalities and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of health support system,
Mm-hmm.
and all those things are affecting those decisions.
Okay.
And it is not a very when I was studying about their history and
Mm-hmm.
how the industry grew and
Mm-hmm.
what were the challenges,
Mm-hmm.
this was one of the things that people were getting uh, legal notices, and they were getting difficulties because they were not addressing those allergy issues properly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why there are norms and things which are in place right now.
Mm-hmm.
uh, Now in India also people have started suing restaurant owners, and there was a lot of false allegation. I don't have actual allergy, but if I pretend to and somebody serve me something, so
Mm-hmm.
they were trying to make misuse the system, and to save your back you do all that, all those sort of security
Mm-hmm.
things. Of course, health and somebody's uh, when we are serving a food, we are in a food business. Your health is the utmost important thing for me, and I will not like that because of my negligence or because of my doing something is happening to you. I'll not be able to live with myself. So that is another way. Some people genuinely have very lethal and life threatening allergies, and it should be taken seriously, absolutely. Not that everybody has that, but yeah, so that is all.
But
So Indian, you were saying about Indian market and UK. So when actually I came in here, I had a different expectation from the UK market.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that they'll be much advanced
Mm-hmm.
because it's a first world country.
Okay.
You
Okay.
have
Okay.
you
We'll
have
get there.
yeah, you have a different
Mhm.
expectations
Mhm.
when you're back in India.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have
yeah,
a different
yeah. The expectations and perception just scattered once we
yes,
landed over here like
absolutely,
anything.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so
So
you come into first, yeah, you said.
yeah, then I realized coming here that oh, they are at least 20 years behind what we are doing back in India,
Okay.
and certain things which of course they have some good uh, things to learn from them,
Yeah, yeah.
but
We'll talk about that at the end.
yeah,
Hmm.
but most of my first impression was, oh, there's nothing fascinating here. So because we are doing so good concepts, we are coming up with so novelty
Mhm.
items,
Mhm.
everybody is doing
Mhm.
something innovative.
Mhm.
These people couldn't come out of their fish and chips and
I'll tell
four or
you
five
another
dishes.
joke of fish and chips. Okay, I have a friend of Thailand. All right, so she told me that she had fish and chips back in Thailand. Cool, and she was like, okay, it is good. So I was like, okay, this will be much better when I go to England. She goes to England, has fish and chips, and she's like, what nonsense is this? My
Exactly was
Thailand fish and chips are
exactly
better.
was what my experience. So yeah, absolute disaster.
Yeah.
And my thing, I always it surprises me
Hmm.
that they are the one who bought potatoes to us. They are means Portuguese. So Europeans are the one who got everything, whatever we have, lot of
Yeah,
things
yeah,
are actually they are the one who influenced on us.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, we made at least 1,000 dishes out of them. They couldn't come out of 5 things of those potatoes. It's like, what are you exactly doing? So, but no, that's their culture. They are very much strong rooted people, and they want to stick to that.
Yeah,
You'll see their architecture, you'll see their design.
that
You will
is
see,
great. I would say.
you'll see there is one thing they have liked, and they'll make that one thing 100
Everywhere.
times. Every building, every household. So right now I'm living in a small city, Nottingham, and if you see, there are 1,000 houses around. 1,000 of them are
Same. Exact. What do you see about these rooms over here?
Yeah,
Same.
exactly.
Yeah. So with that, as you said, so now you said that they are, if I, in your words and as per your experience, 20 years behind kind of a thing. So do you see an opportunity of growth for the hospitality industry in the UK?
There is a growth,
Mm-hmm.
but that growth percentage is very
Low.
minuscule.
Okay.
If I talk from the industry numbers point of view,
Mm-hmm.
the UK industry is growing at 3.54%
3.5. Cool.
max,
Max. Okay.
whereas Indian industry is growing almost like 14-15% year on year. So there
Okay.
is huge.
So there is innovation needed like anything. So these people are on the point of stagnation or something.
Somewhat yes,
Uh-huh.
because number of restaurants compared to now the population
Mm-hmm.
is too high.
Number of sorry.
So generally how we calculate is,
Mm-hmm.
if this is the area
Mm-hmm.
and it has a population of 10 lakh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, there will be 1,000 restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
So per restaurant there are 1,000 people,
Yeah.
10,000 people.
Mm.
So that ratio here
Mm.
is very low.
Okay.
Like for example, for every 800 people there is one restaurant in UK.
So that fits fine. That looks fine.
It makes that restaurant to do a business, it makes difficult for them, because out of those 800
Mm-hmm.
I have to get my 40 or 50 covers every day.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm.
So if that person is not going to repeatedly coming to me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get a good business.
Okay.
So a lot of businesses close down because
Mhm.
of that
Mm-hmm.
here.
Okay.
And that failure rate is because of
Mm-hmm.
there's no volume business happening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To make a economic sense, you need, for certain businesses, of course,
Mm.
there are certain niche businesses which are high. They're charging high.
Mm.
They're boutique kind of setup or Michelin star kind of places. They are doing fine
Mm-hmm.
because they are charging up market.
Yeah.
But the mid segment, which I am catering to,
Mm-hmm.
they have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
They have issues there.
Mm-hmm. So that is the challenge.
That's the challenge, and looking at that challenge, they need to look at their business differently.
Okay.
Some of the challenges they have overcome, but most of them are yet unaddressed.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what jugaad is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they need to
Mm.
do some jugaad. They need to do some innovation,
Mm-hmm.
and that innovation will make them survive. If they still stick on to their traditional ones,
It's not gonna work. So just
because market is changing. The youngsters who are coming here,
yeah.
they are the market now.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So spending power is with the people who are from 25 to 35, 40.
Mm-hmm.
If that's your primary market,
Mm-hmm.
90% of them are expats or they are coming from outside.
Yeah. Cool. Mm-hmm.
So unless and until you change your perspective,
Mm-hmm.
the things are not going to change.
Yeah. So now two things. So which I wanna know. So okay, over here, if you see back in India, if you're a steward or let's say a waiter or whatever, you get 10,000 rupees and you are gonna work for months or like however they wanna make you slot. It's not over here. Okay, the system a bit runs differently. Firstly, you are paid early. It may be 10, 11, 12, whatever. And for that's the weekend or whatever. You get overtime extra 13 pounds if your standard rate is 11. That's one thing. So how does that work? And such kind of a system, how does this kind of a system change things? Or like how does it
Right.
affect the overall functioning?
Right. So let me give you an idea about how exactly the costing structure works in
UK.
market.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when we calculate things in Indian perspective,
Mm-hmm.
we calculate that, okay, the food cost is going to be 30 to 35%.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a labor cost which is 10 to 15%.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a rental cost which is 10 to 15%.
Mm-hmm.
So that's general big numbers I'm giving you. There will be small numbers and
Mhm.
administration and other costs involved,
Mhm.
but these are the primary numbers,
Yeah.
which everybody focuses on.
Cool.
Okay, here the numbers are little different.
Different. Yeah.
The food cost is not gonna exceed anything more than 25%. Labor cost is going to be minimum 20%.
Okay. Cool.
Right. So where I was talking about 10% in Indian market scenario, it is exactly double. So when that dynamic changes, my business valuable resource is a human resource.
Okay, cool.
Right. So every minute of your time is valuable for me.
Yes.
When I am paying you, what just consider that your daily salary is a monthly salary in Indian context.
Yes. It's true. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I am paying you that high, I am not selling my product at 100 multiplier. I am selling it at 10 multiplier. If you get in an Indian context, if I have to talk to you, let's say a burger.
Okay,
you get a burger for 100 rupees.
that is 2 max.
Right.
It starts from 40, 60, whatever.
Correct.
Yeah.
I am not going to get here. I am not going to get 10 multiplier, 100 multiplier. So I am not getting 10 pounds. I am getting 3 pounds. So it's 30 multiplier. So that way the cost is not justifying labor cost.
Okay.
So to adjust that labor cost, I have to be very particular in managing that resource.
Okay.
And for that, every minute of your time is valuable. So if I have to make your time more productive, I have to give you a support of every possible system. For example, giving you machines to do things, giving you softwares to replace your manual jobs. Right. So that way the operations are changing. Less people are running restaurants here. So service in a way is compromised, you can say, because it's a very human resource intensive business.
Over here though.
No, it's not here.
Okay.
And that is why you will see lack of service.
Oh.
If you will compare Indian service scenario, you will see every waiter coming to you, serving you properly, staying there with you. There are 10 people
around, lingering, asking
around.
Yeah.
Somebody's chatting on the corner, doing nothing. So all that thing you will not see here.
Yeah.
They are doing their job because there's no option. He will not have a single minute to waste on.
Yeah.
Because he has his task, he has his things to complete. And before he completes that, there is another person waiting for him. So it is optimized.
That is there, but now these days these companies, or let's say these chains or whatever, now they are including that warm service, this and that in the trainings. I would say that is there.
So it has been there since the beginning.
Okay.
The only thing is, unless and until they are getting that much amount of business, they cannot add another resource to do that.
Okay. Cool.
See, if I have to come and talk to you, I have to explain you the menu. I have to give you a complete brief. In a small where you are going to spend 20 pounds, I can't afford that. If you are spending 40 pounds, yes, you are going to expect that sort of service there.
Okay. So that's the thing. So since you have been into this business for a long time now, so what are your experiences, observations, learnings which you want to share?
From the UK market?
Anywhere, both them. For primarily the UK market, since we are being here.
So I'll tell you what I have learned from Indian market, which is possibly they should learn, and then I'll go other way around. So from the Indian market, they should learn the innovation first. They should learn how to adapt in the situations. In that sense, they are very rigid. They have certain SOPs defined, but those SOPs are made for you to perform better. That shouldn't hold you back to give a better service.
Okay.
Right. So there are certain things which are must, but it's not only must what is expected of you. You can go beyond and give a better service. You can make that person your loyal customer just by giving him some additional importance or additional service he might be expecting, or he might not be expecting at all, and you can surprise him giving a better service. So that's something which is missing here. Most of the industry is not here. It's not run unless and until you are in a 5-star or a A-grade restaurant. It's not run by professionally trained staff. So that again is a challenge, because of which service hampers, because of which they don't know a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
and that affects. So training is something which is missing here,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
uh, these are the two primary things I believe. They are best in managing human resource.
Mm-hmm.
So we should learn how to manage human resource. We don't value our human resource at all back in India.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We like abuse them
Like anything.
to the most possible level.
Mm-hmm.
They are the most neglected thing in the restaurant industry,
Mm-hmm.
which is a sad thing,
Mm-hmm.
which we should learn from here,
Yeah.
from this scenario.
But for that, we need to change how the structure is, unless and until you give an incentive or a consequence to the businesses to make value the human resource, they're not going to do anything, I feel.
So what you are suggesting is a compliance,
Hmm.
but in Indian scenario, compliance is the last thing people worry about.
Okay. All
Right.
right.
So I don't care what government is saying. I don't care, because no, who's gonna implement that? So compliances are there in Indian scenario. We have most rigid compliances if everybody follow them
On paper.
on paper. Yes.
Okay.
So that's the gap, and of course those will come in play as the industry will mature, because customer has to drive that. Customer should expect that the restaurant should be hygienic. If customer is not expecting it, restaurant is fine. I'm without doing anything, I'm okay. Whether my so if you see here, customers see whether you are a 5-star, you are a 4-star, you are a 3-star. So the rating values are not because the government is asking me to do that, but because of that my customer is getting hampered.
Okay.
So if I lose my rating here, I'm care shitty problem. Like I'll be in shit.
Okay.
Because my customer is not gonna come.
Okay.
For them, hygiene is important.
Okay.
Back in India, it's not yet driven by customer. Once customer starts doing that, they will see that I'll not enter unless and until you are fire safe.
Yeah.
I'll not enter until you have
Okay.
FSSI compliance certification.
Yeah.
You have a system.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. In India, we have a system.
FSSI. I was gonna ask you of FSSI thing. Okay. So if you now you and I both discussed this last 2-3 questions. So where these particular businesses, when we came now, we saw that 80% of them are run by chains and 20% by mom and pops. Like, why is the scenario? Is it that difficult to start a restaurant in the UK?
It is capital intensive. First thing. Second important thing is chains. Though they are not, all of them are not profitable, but because they have a huge capital support coming, their expansion is easier.
Okay.
Because they have such a big volume, their rates are possibly the lowest for their segment.
Okay.
So it is very difficult for a mom and pop to, let's say,
what is mom and pop? I'll tell that. An independent owner.
Okay. Yeah. Independent owner who's either he has expertise in kitchen, or he has expertise in beverages, or he's just enthusiastic about food. So I know that I can make a best pasta, and my family loves my pasta, so I want other people also to experience it. So those sort of enthusiasts are technically getting into the industry and trying to create their own space.
It's not easy over here though.
It is difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult. Back in India, it is very, I won't say easy, but at least you can start. To start a smallest place here, your capex requirement is very high.
Okay.
Your compliances are very rigid. So compliances makes you do thing into your capex at a bigger scale. So the lowest investment to start a business here is 50,000 pounds, whereas I can start in 2 lakhs. I can start a business in back in India.
Okay.
If I want to start a small thing.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
Oh.
And secondly, the challenging thing for mom and pop is that they come from a passion, but most of the time they lack in business insight.
Okay.
So lack of that business insight
Hmm.
is what they need to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, they need a people like us,
Yeah, yeah.
where we can actually guide them
Hmm.
that, okay, here where you are,
Hmm.
these are the gaps which we can see.
Hmm.
Because you can identify looking at your business that, okay, there is some sort of a problem here.
Hmm. Okay.
And we will identify those things and rectify.
Okay.
We'll take you from journey A to journey C.
Yeah. So now that's one. That's something. But have you seen these chain restaurants making mistakes? First thing, and second thing, what as per your experience, since you're working in UK, is a good ideal restaurant? That this is a good restaurant. This is how a business should run. Firstly, tell them mistakes, and through rectifying their mistakes, would be a good restaurant in a UK?
So, okay. So chains are making mistake.
Mm-hmm.
They are taking customers for granted.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Lot of them, they are so process driven.
Hmm.
It's somewhat there is a limitation in their business model.
Mm-hmm.
We can't say that as their mistake,
Mm-hmm.
but their business model doesn't permit them to go beyond.
Okay.
They have a process. That process is written down.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever is coming, because tomorrow you are going to work. Day after tomorrow, somebody else is going to come and work.
Hmm.
So whoever is coming, he is going to follow those.
Okay.
That limits that I'll go work beyond and make a person my
Hmm.
regular customer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So their processes are their problems,
Mm-hmm.
because too process driven system.
Mm-hmm.
They have to do that because of certain limitations and their expansions. That is one thing which they have to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
They try to personalize bit here and there,
Mm-hmm.
but most of them are not doing that. That is one.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, it's more like a factory kind of a setup. It's McDonald's coming everywhere.
Okay.
Not that they are
Hmm.
serving a best of the burger,
Hmm. But
but
they are serving a standard burger.
yes.
You know what to expect
So
to say.
so customers' expectations are also limited.
Mm-hmm.
They are not expecting best of the chicken, but they know that, okay, if I'm going into this particular restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be getting this sort of a standard food.
Okay. All
Once they realize that, they go to some mom and pop where they see amazing tasting burger, then they realize that, oh, there can be a burger which is tasting better than that.
right. Okay. That's better than that. Yeah. Some more mistakes you were saying.
Other mistakes which I might have realized is cost centric approaches gives one sort of limitations to your innovation.
Mm-hmm.
You don't try and do new things because you are stuck in a cost structure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, costs are important, you have to monitor them.
Hmm.
But that also is one barrier to your innovation.
Okay.
I'll give you an example.
Hmm.
I want to try a good burger, okay, but the best burger is going to cost, let's say my material cost is going to be 2 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I have a pre-notion for this brand. They have a set criteria that my products cannot exceed anything more than 10 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If I'm going to do a good burger and if it is going to cost me 4, I have to sell it at 16.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
But their limitations,
Mm-hmm.
because they have put themselves in one category,
Mm-hmm.
they have a limitation that they cannot do those burgers.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Technically, they should try,
Mm-hmm.
but they limit themselves. Because
Okay.
they feel that, okay, this is my target segment, this is what their spending power is, and this is what they will buy. So I'll not put anything which is above that on the menu.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That
Okay.
limits them. So
Okay.
these are the primary things. But other than that, there are a lot of good things which we have to learn from them.
Okay. So we'll get to that. What's a good restaurant look like over here? A perfect restaurant. This is a good running, great business restaurant.
From English concept point of view,
Regardless.
a lot of restaurants are doing good. One of the Indian restaurant, he's my senior in the college, who's doing Indian restaurant Dishum. He's doing good.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of other places. Harvester is one of them. They are doing good there. So they do carvery and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which is a uniquely.
So what makes them a good restaurant? The business like setup and everything.
No. So setup and everything comes later. First, you have to understand your customer.
Mm-hmm.
You have to boil down
Mm-hmm.
and come to a conclusion that okay, this is what my customer is.
Mm-hmm.
You should have your customer's profile in your head
Mm-hmm.
to the T. Why am I saying that? Is because everything else, right from your interiors, your menu, your taste, your smells, your every atmosphere, experience, everything comes from that brief, that who's your customer is.
Mm.
Because unless and until you know that customer,
Mm.
you don't know his lifestyle, you don't know his expectations, you don't know what to serve to him.
Mhm. So over here, okay, so they are doing that. So over here, they are like, okay, this is the customer segment. And
Correct.
at times now, I would still say that since I have been checking out the restaurants over here, they are slowly going with personalized thing and everything. Slowly,
Trying to.
yeah,
Yes.
trying to, yeah. That's what I mean. But they are not yet up to the point.
Right.
That's the thing. So you said now one more thing, and then after that we'll conclude with one question, which is very interesting. You said we can learn a lot of things from the chain restaurants. What is that?
Standardization we can learn.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Planning to the inch we can learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
Using a good technology and advanced machines,
Mm-hmm.
investing into that,
Okay.
because that gives your staff a pleasurable atmosphere to work in.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because whether wherever you are in, you don't want to do a shitty work. You
Mm-hmm.
want to work in an atmosphere where yes, you are doing the same job, but it is making it easier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
I have to do a heavy struggle. I have to do, because kitchen or any back of the house work is very hard work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Unless and until you have
Mm.
machines to help you,
Mm-hmm.
it's intensely physical.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And end of the day, you are going to get so tired. The
Yeah.
next day, you don't feel like coming and
Working.
doing the
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So here, because of machines, because of uh, higher labor cost, people have supporting machines and technology.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the front of the house, they have technology. You will see everybody carries an iPad now.
Mm-hmm.
That is possible only in fine dine or a good family restaurants back in India. But here it is casually happening everywhere, because cost of technology is not compared to the ticket size what we see.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one good thing to learn from them.
Mm-hmm. What are the major insights of the UK industry which you have until now, whatever the projects you have taken until now in the UK? What are the major insights from them? Who are the people who come to you, and how can they, what is their success rate?
Okay, so UK, my success rate is 90%. I've opened almost like 10 restaurants now, and out of that, one has shifted the management. It's not closed, but shifted the management. But they have changed the concept after shifting it. So technically, that is closed. But my insights from UK market is that if you are innovative, if you are thinking out of the box, there is a huge potential yet, because a lot of people are doing such a monotonous thing.
Okay.
They are doing same thing again and again and again and again.
Okay.
Indian restaurants, if you see Chinese restaurants, if you see Japanese, you will see everywhere, you will see same 10, 15, 20 dishes which are across everywhere.
Okay.
Unless and until you let people understand that there is something beyond chicken tikka and butter chicken in Indian cuisine, how will they know?
Yeah.
The people who have done that, they have been successful.
Okay.
So that's, according to me, is a right approach when it comes to
So
this.
being innovative is the key at the moment.
Being innovative, yes, in every aspect, not just from the product point, from operations point, from business point, you have to be little innovative.
Okay. And since everything is monotonous, and that's the thing, you need to keep something hotcake kind of a thing.
So in technology, in other things, in research, they are much ahead.
Who?
UK market.
Okay, cool. And still they're not able to.
No, that's the thing.
Okay, okay. So that now two things. One is, do you think that the hiring process which is happening in the hospitality industry, right, as per
So
your experience?
yeah, so there are two things.
Hmm.
One is very difficult to get good resources today,
Mm-hmm.
because the people whom are we dealing with
Hmm.
are most of the times have no clue what restaurant industries are, freshers.
Okay, cool. Hmm.
Okay, so getting them trained,
Hmm.
making them stand on the floor and do the job which we want them to do
Hmm.
is a challenging thing.
Hmm.
In itself, the industry is demanding
Yeah. Yeah.
from the resource point of view, from the human resource point of view.
Hmm.
And rather than treating your employees as your liability,
Hmm.
if you treat them as your asset,
Hmm.
the things will change.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because end of the day, he is looking for an opportunity in his
Hmm.
life.
Yeah.
That is his first job most of
Hmm.
the time,
Hmm. Hmm.
getting into the restaurant.
Hmm.
If you don't give him a pleasurable thing to experience,
Hmm.
there's no possible way that he'll continue.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no training happening most of the time. So
Hmm.
training is something which is missing.
Hmm.
Some who have done their basic trainings, they have not learned the things which are making them best fit into the industry.
Okay.
So there
Hmm.
is a gap between education, what
Hmm.
they have taken,
Hmm.
and actually
Hmm.
what the industry is and where the industry is.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that is
Hmm.
another thing. So all this is leading to a higher attrition rate.
Hmm. Hmm.
This is getting so you will be surprised if I give you numbers.
Hmm.
Okay, UK market
Hmm.
attrition rate is 70 to 90%.
An
This
Indian
is a
market.
survey I'm talking about in pre-COVID.
Okay.
After COVID, they have, I think, must have not done the survey at all,
Hmm.
because it will be 100%.
Why? Why is the attrition rate 100%?
uh, Again, as I said, you don't treat your staff well.
Okay, cool.
You don't consider them that that's not just for him to
Hmm.
earn money,
Hmm.
because here he goes anywhere, he's gonna earn same,
Hmm.
because base salary is same everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be a difference if
Hmm.
he's in a big IT company,
Hmm.
who's a fresher,
Hmm.
might get 14 pounds
Hmm.
if 11 pound is the rate.
Hmm.
But 11 pound is a good rate.
Hmm.
So if he gets a better treatment and a
Hmm.
better working atmosphere
He's
next
gonna
door,
shift.
he's gonna shift.
Yeah. So you
In
need to.
India, people shift for 500 rupees.
Yeah.
Okay, here they don't even see
Hmm.
whether they are getting a raise or not.
Hmm.
It's just atmosphere is not good. They
Hmm.
are not treating me well. It's not a place I want to be. I want to live life.
Hmm.
They have a life.
Yeah.
You treat them as a human being.
Hmm.
If you don't treat them as a human being, they are gonna go.
So over here, the labor thing is very. We need to be very cautious about.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
I think, according to me, you should be cautious everywhere,
Yeah. Okay.
because you are dealing with a person.
Hmm.
Don't treat them as a commodity.
Yeah.
If you treat them as a resource,
Hmm.
then that's the problem.
Hmm.
Unless and until you think from his shoes,
Hmm.
you think from his point of view that he is doing this because he has some limitations,
Hmm.
either his education or his family or his financial issues or whatever reason,
Hmm.
he is working at that capacity.
Hmm.
But he is looking at that capacity as an opportunity to grow.
Yeah. True. Okay.
So if you don't give him that confidence that okay, you are safe here,
Hmm.
you are going to grow with us,
Hmm.
we are going to make you grow,
Yeah.
I'll teach you, I'll make you suitable for other good job, they won't leave. They
True.
won't leave you at all.
True.
If you give them a confidence that yes, you are going to grow. So there used to be, if you see few restaurants back in India, you will see people are working there for 3 generations, 4 generations, the same.
Yeah, because there is a good environment. Yeah.
They treat you as a family.
Someone. Yeah. Please continue.
If you do that, nobody is actually willing to go and look for another job. They want security, they want a good place, they want good atmosphere and good life progress. So everything what I need is happening at one place. Why will I leave?
Now, regardless if a client comes to you, if it's a chain or a mom and pop and shop, if they want you to hire a team for their restaurant, would you post it on LinkedIn? Indeed, or like what?
Not really. The reason being, there are specifically particular agencies who handles hotel and restaurant industries human resource portfolios, and these are freshers, or these are people who actually have no background most of the time, and some of them, whoever have backgrounds, they don't have insights on where exactly they are going to get recruited to. So those agencies are the people whom we contact, rather than going on Indeed, or because Indeed and all are not pretty much suitable for hospitality. That is what my belief is. Because I have seen only few managers and high profile candidates are going to go and put their CVs and their information there. So if I have to hire a GM, yes, I'll go on
LinkedIn. Sorry, Indeed.
Indeed, or even on LinkedIn or any other social media. But there are agencies who actually handle actual headhunting, and they do that job.
Yeah, so everything. So that would be preferable.
Yes, I'll approach it that way.
Okay, so the hiring process you are gonna do is totally different rather than relying on the Indeed.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So because there we see what exactly is motivating him to come. We know, because Indian and all is generic algorithm which doesn't support
and
what
it's
exactly what we are looking for in a person.
Yeah, true. And it's not gonna give you even if it's an ideal candidate, it's gonna reject the CV. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for telling about all of this. Maybe we can, when you have much more of an insight and experience in the UK industry, we can have another one.
Yes.
So that you can tell, oh, these British people. I'll tell you one last joke and we'll conclude on that. I have this one colleague of mine who was a British person, and I told him that, oh, you are the people who bought tea or told us how tea works in India. And now I checked out the tea over here. It's not at all good. And he told me that, oh, it's okay, bro. We are English people. We give you things, or we take in things and manage to make it worse. That's in some aspects, but some aspects these people are really good. They have I felt that these people are very warm, generous in their culture, in their nature. The hospitality industry should also have that aspect. That is what is in my opinion is. That's all. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
That's a wrap.
Thanks.